Hi guys, this video is all about scaffolding strategy. Scaffolding is an instructional technique in which a teacher provides individualized support by incrementally improving a learner's ability to build on prior knowledge. Raymond 2000 Vygotsky defined scaffolding instruction as the role of teachers and others in supporting the learner's development and providing support structures to get to the next stage or level. In addition, Wood et al. 1976 defined scaffolding as the support provided by the teacher or parent as a tutor that allows students as tutees to meaningfully participate in and gain skill at the problem solving. Theory and its framework. The ZPD has become synonymous in the literature with the term scaffolding. However, it is important to note that Vygotsky never used this term in his writing, and it was introduced by Wood, Bronner, and Rose 1976. Scaffolding consists of the activities provided by the educator or more competent peer to support the student as he or she is led through the zone of proximal development. The ZPD identifies the level of independency in the learner. More specifically, it identifies gaps in the learning and skills. Understanding a student's location within the ZPD supports self-efficacy for a reason of gradual release framework: I do, we do, and you do. Within this direct instruction time, it is important that students show their engagement with an overt behavior as the teacher scaffolds and checks for understanding. This overt behavior makes up approximately 10% of the student responsibility in this first phase of teaching and learning. As teachers and students transition from the first to the second phase of the release framework, or we do, the level of responsibility begins to shift as well for both students and teacher. Within this next stage, the heavy lifting is almost equal as the teacher begins to transition more learning ownership into the students. Specifically, students own 40% of the learning responsibility within this guided practice portion of the gradual release of the responsibility model. At this point, the teacher, being still highly involved, works side by side small groups of students. At this phase, the students are comfortable with the content and can easily progress through learning activities assigned, participate in small and large group discussions with little assistance by the teacher, can generate new questions and discussions, and apply the newly learned content. Teachers fully facilitate the learning, listen in on conversations, and formatively assess the progress of each student. I have here the 3 characteristics of scaffolding. One common model for defining and describing scaffolding includes contingency, fading, and transfer of responsibility. Contingency. Support is provided only when the extent it is needed. This means that the teacher's support must be adapted to the current level of the student's performance and should either be at the same or slightly higher level. A tool for contingency is diagnostic strategies. To provide contingent support, that is, one must first determine the student's current level of competence. Fading is when support is reduced and removed as the learner gains competence and able to answer and solve problems on their own. The second common characteristic is fading, or the gradual withdrawal of the scaffolding. The rate of fading depends upon the child's level of development and competence. A teacher is fading when the level and/or the amount of support is decreased over time. The transfer of responsibility is the responsibility for successful performance is gradually transferred from the support provider to the learner. This means that responsibility for the performance of a task is gradually transferred to the learner. Responsibility is interpreted in this review in a broad sense. It can refer to students' cognitive or metacognitive activities or to students' effect. The responsibility for learning is transferred when a student takes increasing learner control. And this is a framework for analysis of this strategy. Related studies. Dr. Jerome Bronner coined the term scaffolding and connected it to Vygotsky work. Dr. Bronner and other psychologists began studying the use of ZPD in different educational contexts, and they found that encouraging students to tackle the most difficult task within their ZPD leads to the most learning. Bransford, Brown, and Cacking 2000. Teachers provide scaffold so that the learner can accomplish certain tasks they would otherwise not be able to accomplish on their own. According to Hartman 2002, the goal of educator is for student to become an independent learner and problem solver. The study of Pratt and Savoy-Levin 1998 shows that another important factor in student success is students' appreciation of support. Students' appreciation of support provided, for example, because they feel that they are being taken seriously or because they feel the support was enjoyable or pleasant, may have long-term implication as support that's appreciated might encourage students to engage in further learning.